So here's an old gold mine entrance that dates back to the 1870s. Let's go check it out. Okay, I'm right here at the portal where you can see some timbering remnants. But look how they had to cut a notch right there in the timber there so the ore cart could pass by. So that means there must have been ore cart tracks in here at one point. We may find some, and let's keep going forward. Let's check it out. As I was coming through the portal just now, I thought I heard a rattlesnake behind me. So I'll have to be careful on my way out to make sure there's no snakes out there. Just a straight shot. Let's take a look back at where we came from. Back in the day, you would have been able to see straight out that portal. Now it's pretty much blocked by the erosion pile. So there'll be some footage at the end of this video of the waste rock pile that's outside this mine. And it's actually somewhat substantial. Not huge, but not tiny either. So this was a productive little mine based on the waste rock dump that's outside. And so we'll see how far this goes. Looks like there's a collapse up here. Maybe this will be the end. Okay, let's check this out. Oh, I think I can get past that. Looks like the tunnel continues. Very interesting geology here in the walls. All this finely layered rock, especially right here. It looks like it stops back there where it kind of turns gray. So this is a layer of something. And from what I remember reading about this area, this type of rock, all these very fine layers is what they were looking for. And I don't know if the white stuff in there is quartz. Looks like there's a quartz vein right there for sure. That's about 3 inches or 4 inches wide. And then this vein, this area of layered rock stops again, and we're back to the gray stuff right there. So alternating bands of rock, and that's the right side of the tunnel. So we have to get past this collapse. So let's get to it. Well, I'm pretty much right on top of the collapse, and yes, there's the tunnel continuing onward. Let's go check it out. Okay, that's the collapse I just came over. Had to basically crawl on my hands and knees. And let's continue onward. Wow, we pick up some ore cart tracks here, it looks like. Yes, these are the wooden boards with metal strapping on top. You can see it right there. And some wood cross ties right there. So it looks like there's an intersection here. A Y intersection. Straight ahead looks like it's caved in. Check out that ore cart track. See that? See how the strapping is kind of off center of the wooden board? Yeah, this is a major cave-in, unfortunately. Well, more of the tree branches and tree trunks used to hold the waste rock that obviously failed. No idea how far back that went, but probably went a little bit further, that's for sure. Like I said, the waste rock pile outside is somewhat substantial. So let's take this branch to the right. Looks to be open. Here's more of that yellow stuff. I forget what they call that. It's not sulfur. It's there's another name for it. Limonite. That's what it is. Limonite. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And apparently limonite, from what little I know about geology and mining, limonite is a source of gold, or can be processed into gold or something like that. Don't take my word for that, though. So the Orcart Tracks branch here, here's the split. And we got some feathers or something in here. Maybe something lives in here and brought in a bird to eat. Those are black feathers. Wow, check out that timbering. Okay, so right here where this tunnel splits off, we are in a stope. And above me, you can see the timbers that are holding up all the waste rock. And in that other branch, it obviously caved in. So there's a lot of weight on these timbers. And I believe this mine, like I said, dates back to the 1880s. So this stuff has been here at least 130 years, 140 years. Yeah, we'll go down there and check that out. I want to. Oh yeah, take a look at this. Up here in the back, you can see how that goes way up there. I'd say that's maybe 60 feet. And I see a ceiling and what looks like there might be a level up there. But to the right, you can see how they stacked all the waste rock there. Those are some big rocks on the right there. And that's what's being held up by these boards that are bending. Wow. Let's keep going. Yeah, this is one mine you don't want to spend a lot of time in because of these ceilings. I mean, those cross timbers are pretty big, but still, they could be dry rotted and basically just holding up a fraction of what they were capable of holding. I'm just really fascinated by these ceilings. It's such an old school way of mining that would never fly in today's modern mining world. Okay, here's looking up. Yeah, here you can see up into the stope. My light up there is at the ceiling. It might be another level up there. It's hard to say. But to climb up that would be just really foolish. But yeah, here's a timbered arch. A succession of timbered arches. More stacked rock here on the left. You know, you got to give the miners credit, though. I mean, 140 years later, this is still holding for the most part. Uh-oh. Well, I spoke too soon. Right there is where some of it came down. It's amazing the amount of rocks that are stacked up in here. Remember, this stacking of the rock, they call this gobbing. When they stack up the rocks like this, it's referred to as gobbing. It was easier to do this than to take the rocks out of the mine. Yeah, here's where something broke. I can't see around there. But yeah, the ceiling failed. You can see the timbers that came down. They used to be horizontal like these ones above us, but now they're vertical because it collapsed. No idea how much further back this mine went, but I'm assuming it went a ways based on the waste rock pile that's outside. That's a pretty cool looking arch. What I find really fascinating about these is how they always put the notches in at the top there. See the notch? Same thing over there. So primitive. But hey, it worked. And that's looking back where we came from. As we're heading back out, I'll give you another shot of these false ceilings. Look how those boards are bending, or those tree trunks. Those aren't even boards, they're tree trunks, and they're bending. I could see a board bending, but a tree trunk should be pretty strong, but there's a lot of weight above us. Pretty fascinating. And we're back at the Y intersection. I'm about to go back over the first collapse, and boy, if that collapse had been more substantial and totally blocked off this tunnel, nobody would have seen the stuff we just saw in the farther reaches of this mine. All those false ceilings with all that timber and gobbing. So yeah, when these mines collapse, sometimes the collapse, if it's close enough to the entrance and big enough that it seals off the entire tunnel, everything that's behind the collapse is forever lost and will never be seen again. Okay, the mine portal is back behind those trees, and all this out here is the waste rock pile where you see this light colored grass growing, and then here's the big dump. So yeah, it's pretty substantial. It's got a tree growing on it now up there, but that's a pretty big dump, all down there and over to there. And the road does continue up that way to the left to some more mines. So let's go check those out. But yeah, that mine is right back there. And all this is waste rock. And we came from that way.